Despite mounting international pressure and promises of relief, the dire situation in Gaza continues to worsen, with the World Food Programme reporting that no aid has yet reached the desperate population. After an 11-week blockade, Gazans are struggling to find food, teetering on the brink of famine. In Khan Younis, the stark reality of the crisis is evident as men, women and children gather at a makeshift soup kitchen, clutching empty cooking pots and pans, their hopes of receiving a meagre lunch dwindling with each passing hour. Those who spoke to Reuters conveyed the agonizing truth. Despite their desperate wait, no food arrived.
That we face is that since the closure, nor commercial nor humanitarian assistance have reached Gaza. We have been given, for the last 2 days, an opportunity to reinstate some of the humanitarian assistance. Yet the challenge that we have is that it's not at a sufficient scale. The trucks that have arrived in Gaza are still within Gaza, but just at the platform at Kerem Shalom. As we speak, none of these aid, that is very limited number of trucks, have reached the Gazan population. When the ceasefire started on the 19th of January. It's been now practically 80 days that there is a full closure of the Gaza Strip. On the 12th of May, the Integrated Phase Classification actually has classified what is the situation currently in the Gaza Strip. There are 2.1 million people that are in what we call food crisis, out of which a quarter of the Gazan population is actually at the risk of famine. One of the biggest challenges that we have since the closure on the 2nd of March is that you have many different types of products, which by the way are not accessible anymore for many of the children. Those that are below 5 require very specific and nutritious products. As we speak, there are no fruits into the Gaza Strip, there are no dairy products, there are not sufficient food for any of these children to actually have a proper growth.
Antoine Renard, the representative and country director of the World Food Programme, paints a grim picture of the situation. He emphasises that since the closure, neither commercial nor humanitarian assistance has been able to reach Gaza. While there has been an opportunity to reinstate some aid in recent days, the scale is woefully insufficient. Crucially, the limited number of trucks that have entered Gaza remain at the Kerem Shalom platform, with none of the desperately needed supplies reaching the starving population. The voices of Gazans echo the despair. Jihad Kader, a Palestinian man waiting at the soup kitchen, describes the futile wait, the empty pot symbolising the broken promises of aid. He speaks of a population grappling with famine, where the only meal of the day is often a meagre lunch, with breakfast and dinner becoming increasingly scarce. His plea to the world is a desperate cry for intervention, an end to the lies and the delivery of the promised sustenance. The desperation is further amplified by the testimony of Yasmin al-Moghayar, a displaced Palestinian from Rafah. Holding her empty pot, she recounts the heart-wrenching reality of her daughter waking up with cries of hunger, a need she is powerless to fulfill. Her arrival at the soup kitchen, a first in her ordeal, underscores the utter lack of food, the absence of even basic staples like lentils or rice in their makeshift tent. Her tearful question, why is this happening to them, after a life where basic necessities were once available, encapsulates the profound suffering endured by the people of Gaza. As airstrikes and tank fire continue to ravage the enclave, the promised aid remains frustratingly out of reach. The international community's calls for increased access are met with a reality of empty stomachs and deepening despair, leaving the population of Gaza in a precarious and increasingly perilous fight for survival.
رغيف خبز بتقولي بده خبز ما فيش شيء يعني رغيف الخبز صرنا محتاجينه صرنا مشتهيين رغيف الخبز ليش ناكل دجاج وناكل لحم وكنا عايشين. ليش كل هذا اللي بصير فينا؟ من الجوع صار معنا ضيقة نفس ودوخة وهزلان، ما نقدرش نقوم نعمل شغلتنا.